So I've been learning Spanish now for around 8 months, and I went from nearly zero to B2 in just that time period, which is way above average. And I'm honestly proud and all about this, like pretty awesome progress. But when I look back on my journey on the last couple of months, I feel like that I could have had such a much bigger progress than I actually had if I had just known this rule that I'm going to teach you in this video. So back when I started to learn Spanish, at first I was highly motivated. I was learning 1 hour, 2 hours a day for like 30 days straight. But after a bit of time, I started to get burnt out a bit, and I started to attach this negative feeling to learning Spanish, and I started to get burnt out. I then started to have weeks where I just didn't learn at all, and then I had some burst of motivation, and I then forced myself to learn for 3 hours for 3 hours one day, and then after that I was just burnt out again, and I didn't want to learn again. And that way I had these periods where I was learning a lot, then nothing for 2 weeks, and then again so much in just 1 or 2 days, and then nothing again. And it was all over the place. It was just a terrible experience, or it could have been a way better experience. And because of this inconsistency, I lost a bunch of progress. And yeah, it honestly pains me that only now I learned the 5-minute rule, which I'm going to tell you right now. So, okay, what is the 5-minute rule? What is the 5-minute rule? The 5-minute rule is the rule that you need to learn Spanish or whatever language or whatever you're learning in general for 5 minutes a day, minimum. So the 5-minute rule is that you just need to sit down every single day for 5 to 10 minutes and study Spanish. And most of the times, after those 5 minutes, you will want to continue studying Spanish. It was just the same yesterday. I honestly didn't want to learn yesterday. I felt kind of demotivated, kind of negative, and I didn't want to learn. But then I just reminded myself of the 5-minute rule, told myself, no, you need to sit down for at least 5 minutes, just start learning. And well, I did that, and after 5 minutes I didn't want to stop because I just entered a flow. And every time you imagine about learning Spanish or whatever you're learning, it's this grueling thing that you don't want to do, and no, not again Spanish, no, don't want to do this. But it's just this feeling. Most of the time it's just because you didn't start. When you just start learning, sit down, get into the flow, most of the time, like 95% of the times that you're learning Spanish, you will want to continue, because you just need to push through that starting time period. Just the first 5 minutes are the most important thing to get you into the flow of learning, of speaking in Spanish, of doing flashcards, whatever you're doing. You just need to get your foot into the door. I think that's what it's called in English, right? You just need to start, and most of the times, like 95% of the times, you will want to continue. And then of course there's the last 5% of the times where you just cannot focus, where just cannot concentrate, and it's this terrible experience. And after 10 minutes, 15 minutes of trying to learn, you still cannot enter flow, and it feels like you're not learning anything, and it feels like such a negative experience. And then it's completely okay if you just stop. It's exactly what I do. If I just cannot focus, if I just cannot seem to enter this flow state when I'm learning Spanish after 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I just stop. Because why should I torture myself and push through and give myself all these negative feelings about learning Spanish if I'm not going to learn that much anyways? Because think about it. When you're feeling negative, when you just cannot concentrate, when you have all these negative feelings inside of you, this stress and whatever it might be, you're not going to learn that much in that session, are you? It's just that if your brain feels good and you feel like you feel positive feelings of love, of motivation, of inspiration when you're learning, that's when you're going to learn a lot. But if it's the opposite, and if you feel like terrible when you're just sitting there and I don't want to learn, it's such a headache, I don't want to learn, you're not going to learn practically anything. And the worst of all is that when you push through in those scenarios, that's when you start to build this negative relationship with learning. You start to build this negative feeling when you think about learning, and you think like, oh no, it's such a headache, I don't like learning Spanish, I have to push myself to do it, it's not fun. And I promise you, sorry, you don't want to build this negative relationship with learning Spanish. That's the worst thing that you can do. Because if you start to build this negative relationship with learning Spanish, you're going to burn out. It's exactly what happened to me when I was burning out all these months ago, because I was just pushing myself too hard on the times where I couldn't or shouldn't have learned. And just don't push yourself so hard when it's just not a great experience to learn. So instead you need to do something instead when you cannot concentrate. If you just cannot concentrate, do something else. Just you've got my great wishes. What's it called? I don't know. When you just can't concentrate, go outside, go for a walk, do some sports, do something that resets your brain, that gives you your power back. And if you're extremely tired, just sleep, do a nap, something like that. But don't cope. Don't do something like scroll YouTube Shorts, TikTok, whatever dopamine bullshit we do nowadays, video games or porn, something that's the worst thing of all. Don't cope. Don't do something as terrible for that brain, because it's such a big cope in all of our society nowadays. Because in the evening I want to relax and I would just want to watch some TV. I just want to play some video games. It helps me wind down and I get so relaxed from doing that. No, you don't. If we scan your brain when you are scrolling on TikTok and quote unquote relaxing whilst playing a video game, we would see that your brain isn't relaxed at all. Your brain is in a hyperactive state. There's like flashes of electrons and neurons that get activated when you're playing a video game. It's hyper stimulating. It's not relaxing for your brain at all. You kill your brain when you do this. So don't cope and don't do all these like relaxing, terrible habits. Do something real. Go outside, go for a walk, do some sports, meet up with your friends, do something fun, hang around with them, and do something in the real world that resets your brain, that makes you feel positive again. And maybe after you hung out with your friends, maybe then you want to study Spanish. But if not, that's also okay. Just remember, 5 minutes every single day, and then you do the 5 minutes the next day, and it works out, and you can study well. And just apply the 5-minute rule every time you learn Spanish. From now on, you're going to learn Spanish every single day. There are no copes, but most of the time you will enter the flow, And the times that you don't do the flow, it's completely okay as well. Just do something productive, do something that actually resets your brain, and it's completely okay. Yeah, I hope this video helps you to get consistent and really develop this love, this zest for learning Spanish, just like I have it nowadays. Because I used to have this negative feeling when I was learning Spanish or pushing myself, and now it's just fun, and it's just great, because in the last couple of weeks that I've been applying this rule to my studying, my progress has skyrocketed so much. It really feels like this. So like I'm in this phase of learning Spanish right now, and I wish that you have this as well in your study, because it's just such a great experience when you finally apply this rule. It stops being this headache, this grueling task that you need to do, and you just do it for fun, just because you like it. And yeah, okay, I need to stop yapping. I hope you find this video useful, and if you did, then just subscribe. I'm going to keep posting these insights, these learnings, these great gold ideas on this channel. So if you find this useful, subscribe. I'm going to keep making challenges weekly about learning Spanish, and yeah, together we're going to find the best ways to learn Spanish. Entonces, vamos a mejorar juntos en el español. Adiós.